Hey, welcome back folks to the Via Pinstriping page. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. So today I'd like to talk about paints. I don't want to say misconceptions, but people's feelings towards certain brands and this and that. So somebody just sent me a very kind email asking me for my opinion on whether or not they should use enamels for a job that will be. It's actually not a paying job, but they still want to do a good job. They want it to last, and their concern is they're hearing a lot of talk that you need to start making a switch to urethanes and this and that. I personally don't have a lot of experience with urethanes, so I can't really speak on that. I try not to speak on anything that I don't know. With that being said, I've used One Shot and I've used Alpha Enamel with great success. So far, nobody's come back to me and said that the paint is chipping off. Nobody's come back to me and said that things are fading. I actually have a sign that I did with all Alpha Enamel at my mother's house. It's for her seamstress business, and it's a wooden sign, and it is mounted on her fence, so it gets full sun, full rain, full environmental whatever, and it still looks pretty good. It still looks pretty damn good. And I don't know if it looks exactly like the exact same way it did when it first came out, or when I first put it out there, but very legible. Paint's still orange, where I did it. The color's still the same. So I see it almost every week, and it's holding up great. With that being said, there is a couple of additives that I like to add if I am going to be doing a job outside. So, I just had my hardener. So, if you can purchase, before I say anything, if you could purchase the hardener for these paints, if they have their own reducers and their own hardeners, and you have access to the stuff and you have the money, get the reducers for the One Shot. If they have a hardener, get the hardener for the One Shot. I think, why not? If Alpha's got its own stuff and you can order it, get it. But what I use is Tractor Supply hardener. This thing's lasted me, I want to say, like 3 years now, because I only use a couple of drops. Now, as you can see, the cap is completely stuck on. So luckily, Alpha sent me these little twists. It's basically like a screw. So I just unscrew it when I need it. It actually kind of breaks off all the excess. But it's basically just a screw. It's like the screw in the cap idea. And now I can just kind of put literally 2 or 3 drops per cup. And that locks in the paint, kind of makes it, it hardens the paint, so it makes it more durable. The other thing that I use is a couple of drops of Japan dryer. So this is every single color that I use. Every time I put a little bit in a cup, I do just a couple of drops of both of these. And there you have, a little bit quicker dry. It will ensure that it will dry, and it will ensure to create a more durable paint. So, with that being said, you don't have to generally listen to all the hoopla about the paints. People have their own opinions, and some people feel very strongly about One Shot and what it is today. I use it. I like it. My buddy Chris just sent me some Ronin, which I am super excited. I've always wanted to try it, so super stoked to have this stuff. I've heard great things about Ronin, and again, I've heard some other stuff about Ronin. Like, it's just people's opinions. Alpha is extremely controversial, right? I think the Alpha, because it came out pretty strong. Of course, anybody that comes out strong, like, hey, I'm here, it's gonna get very opinionated. If you grow real fast, people got hard opinions on anybody moving too fast. It's like, whoa. So I'm still with the enamels. And let me tell you something. Todd Hanson still uses one shot to this day. If you go look at Todd Hanson's stuff, I mean, you really can't be mad at what he's doing. He does beautiful, big, broad, like filled letters, and he still uses one shot. And I just spoke to 4 dudes. There's 4 fellas that just came to town to do some pinstriping. 2 out of them 4 are still using enamels. And I asked them, oh, well, because I hear the same stuff, right? And I'm still learning and I'm still absorbing. I say, hey, what's up? How come you're not using urethane like everybody says? Well, we just prefer enamels. We can work with enamels better. It has a certain feeling that we're used to, and that's just what we are accustomed to. And these are professional guys. These are guys that are doing it full time. The other 2 just happen to use urethane. I think they use hot hues. So with that being said, don't be afraid to use enamels. I would recommend, bare minimum, you'd put a little bit of hardener in there. The Japan dryer just kind of makes it dry faster. It does kind of ensure that it will dry. You may or may not have to clean out your brush a little bit more often because it does start to gum up. You may or may not have to mix up a new batch of that color here and there after, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. It starts to kind of get thick because that's exactly what this does. It does exactly what it says. It makes it dry and it makes it hard. So with that being said, hopefully that helps the question. And I appreciate y'all watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you feel strongly about some stuff, let me know. Maybe you'll guide me into a new train of thought. Because at this point, I think it's just what works best for you. In the end, there's no good, bad brush. It's whatever works best for you. I don't think there's any good or bad paint. I think it just works best for you. Heck, I'm even under the assumption that maybe one batch of paint may be better one time and not so good the next. Maybe you'll get one color that's great and the next color not so great or whatever. Like, in the end, you got to work it out. If it's a little translucent, you just got to go over it twice. Like, you just got to be flexible. I mean, that is, I think, me and Jack, we'll do the podcast now, the Pinstripers podcast. Check it out. But if one of the things that I'm learning the most is you got to just be on your toes. You just got to be able to work with what you got at that moment to get the job done and to do it correctly. When it comes to longevity, I think more important than any of this stuff is that you have a clean surface and you're working with a clean brush and you don't have any contaminants. I think that's more important than any brand, is that you have a clean surface, a clean brush, and no contaminants between the paint and the surface that you're trying to paint. This is my opinion. Take it or leave it. Love you people. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and have a good day.